Hey everybody, Michael here from GetFitOver40.com. All right, so this is 6 weeks out from the Canadian Nationals, and we're doing the Road to the Canadian Nationals 2019. The show's actually called the GNC ALLMAX Canadian Nationals Pro Qualifier. That's the name of it, so if you want to look it up, that's the name. I'll put links in the description to it. So we're 6 weeks out, and I wanted to at least do a weekly kind of check-in where I'm going to try and do posing on Friday. I'll do it in the same place. That's the plan anyway. Sometimes life, doesn't work out, but I'll try and do this every Friday. Do my suntan room posing thing because it's the same lighting, it's consistent. And if I do it every week on Friday, that'll give you an idea how things are going. So I did do that this morning. I do have the video. I'll tag it on the end of this one. Just basically kind of like this is an update, posing update, let you know what's going on, kind of what the plan is over the next 6 weeks. So really quickly, what's the plan? What have I kind of been eating and all that kind of stuff? What's my weight and things like that? I just want to kind of fill you in on some details. So people ask me, well, how tall are you? Well, I'm 6 foot tall. Sometimes when I do these shows, I shrink a little tiny bit because when you lose the weight, you lose foot pad, you lose a little bit of size everywhere. You basically dehydrate to the point where you kind of shrink a little. You lose 1/4 of an inch. So even though I'm maybe just a hair over 6 feet, I used to be 6'1", but I've been shrinking with age. But now when I usually do get measured in, I'm just a hair under 6 feet, but that's okay. It's usually pretty close. And right now I weigh in at about 195, sometimes a little bit lighter in the morning, a little heavier in the evening, but I've been pretty consistently staying there, just dropping slowly over time. I feel I'm in probably, at this point, 6 weeks out, I'm in pretty much what I consider to be right on target, probably the best shape I've been in 6 weeks out to a show. And why I feel that way is because I'm pretty lean at 6 weeks out. I usually am not this lean 6 weeks out. I'm usually about the same weight. So, being about the same weight, but leaner is good. That means I'm carrying more muscle. Another thing that's telling me that I'm carrying more muscle is the fact that I'm lifting decent weight. So, when I was doing a bulk last year for my last year's shows, I was getting up to around 215 pounds and doing pretty much the same weight. I would say maybe I had a little bit more leg strength back then, but I was looking at doing classic physique. I'm not going to be doing classic physique. So even though I train legs, I was kind of putting a little more emphasis on getting those caught up for that show. So maybe I had a little bit more leg size, but upper body wise, strength is pretty much the same. So maybe a little bit less, but then I'm 20 pounds lighter. So that's a big deal. All right. So what else? What am I eating and stuff? I don't really want to get into macros too much, but I'll just give you an overview of kind of what's going on with the diet. The diet's about 2,500 calories a day right now, and I try to do that, pretty much. I'm not doing a lot of cheat meals. Even on the weekends, I'm trying to stay with 2,500 calories. Occasionally, I'll go a little over, but then on a Sunday, for instance, I don't do as much activity. I'll just do a few walks. So, I'll try definitely not to go over maintenance. Saturday, I'm usually under maintenance fairly well, but Monday to Friday, I'm under maintenance by at least 1,000 calories, up to 1,500 calories. So because I'm only eating like 2,500 calories and I'm burning 3,500 to 4,000 calories because I'd go for like at least 2-3 miles. Like I do a 3-mile walk in the morning. I do my hour and 15, hour and a half workout, depends on what I'm doing. Usually burn about 800 to 1,000 calories in my workouts. And then I do another 2-mile to 3-mile walk. Sometimes I'll even do a third walk. It just depends on what's going on. If I go to my son's soccer practice, I'll walk for a couple miles, and then I'll just maybe do a walk in the evening for 1.5 miles, 2 miles. But I generally get 5 to 6 miles of dedicated walking on top of just, moving around during the day. So easily I'm burning 1,500 calories and as much as 2,000 calories a day. So if you're only eating 2,500 calories and your base metabolic rate, my base metabolic rate is somewhere around 2,000, then I'm basically, my body requires 3,500 to 4,000 calories and I'm only eating 2,500 calories. In terms of macros, I'm not one of these people that thinks you just have to jam protein down your throat all the time. I feel pretty good eating almost like a consistent level macros. So I wouldn't say I'm not eating carbs. I wouldn't say I'm not eating fat. I wouldn't say I'm not eating protein. I'm eating everything kind of in equal macro portions. So I'm getting most of my calories from fat. It's kind of weird, right? But let's say if I eat 130 calories to 150 calorie or grams of protein, I'll have about the same amount of fat and about the same amount of carbs. So it does vary a little bit, but it's in that ballpark. So they're almost equal ratios of carbs, fats, and proteins. I do make sure I have my BCAAs right around workout time just to sort of protect the muscles and get some of those amino acids in that the muscles require for rebuilding. I'm eating meat or something like that. I'm not really taking a lot of supplements like protein shakes or anything like that. Very rare. I might add them in a bit once the calories get low, just because I'm going to have to cut out a little bit of the fats as we get further into this. But right now, I don't mind eating the fats. It really makes me feel satiated. I'm really not hungry. I mean, I go morning and afternoon really light with my meals, and then have a big dinner and then a fairly decent snack before bed because I'm hungrier in the evening. And so that's when I tend to eat. And that's, so I never go to bed hungry, right? That's really, for me, the hardest part of any type of diet is going to bed hungry. I'm busy during the day. My mind is preoccupied, so I don't mind stretching out the meals a little bit in the morning. So that's kind of what's going on. 2,500 calories. We're going to take this probably over the next 3 to 4 weeks and see what happens with it. So I don't want to get too lean before I do my 2 week prior to, basically what happens is 2 weeks from the show is when I really go, boom, it's time to get serious. And then the whole diet changes. It's basically very low carb, a lot of protein, which will be mostly like fish, a little bit of chicken, really no rice or potatoes, just vegetables and just high fiber carbs if you are going to have them, but very low carb and very low fat. That's what's going to happen 2 weeks out. Very, very strict. And the reason I'm going to do that is because it's always worked in the past. If I've deviated from that a little bit, I don't quite get as tight for the show. So that's what I'm going to do 2 weeks out. And that diet is 1,500 to 1,800 calories a day. When you're doing a lot of activity, you're 1,500 to 2,000 calories under this. Your body has no choice but to lose any bits of fat that's left on it. So the goal here is to go into the last 2 weeks really, really close to contest ready, and then just get peeled over those 2 weeks. Right, diced up as much as possible. And even what I'm hoping to do is a week before the 2 week serious cut is to do a week of maintenance, because by doing a week of maintenance, maybe around 3,000 calories, so upping my calories a week before I do my hard cut, your body kind of gets it's basically a refeed. Your body says, okay, we're not in starvation mode. Your metabolism will adjust up. Any damage you've done from dieting for over the time, if you bring your calories up for a week, your body's going to be, okay, we're getting more food. We're good here. And metabolism will rise a little bit. And that makes that next 2 weeks really, really effective because your metabolism has risen. The danger is when you're cutting, even if it's only 500 calories deficit or 1,000 calories deficit, is your body just starts to slow down. Your metabolism starts to slow down. And I can tell you this, I know it's true, because as I get leaner, even though I don't lose a lot of weight, I might only go from say 195 to 190, but my the amount of calories that I burn during a workout is drastically reduced. So my heart rate goes down, my blood pressure drops. You get kind of tired, really tired easily, right? For instance, if I go for a 2 mile walk or my 3 mile walk, I'll easily burn 450 calories in that 3 mile walk when my metabolism is healthy and everything. But as I get deeper into the contest prep and the cut, my heart rate drops. It'll on a walk, I'll get my heart rate up to 120, 130 easily during a fast-paced walk. But now 2 weeks, I'm really close to the show. I do the same walk, same pace. I'm only 5 pounds lighter, and my heart rate's 100 to 105. So your body is just not burning the calories that it used to during activities. So you have to do more activities, and you have to work harder and eat less to get the same results you were getting earlier in the cut. So, if you can keep your metabolism healthy for a longer period of time, it's going to get affected at the end. When you do that end cut, your metabolism will just go out the door right at the end. But, hopefully you're so close that it doesn't matter by then. That's the goal. So it's almost science doing this stuff. It's not what you think. I mean, there's so much to consider going into these shows and what's going on. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Again, over the next 3 to 4 weeks, about 2,500 calories a day, about 1,000 to 1,500 calories under maintenance. That should get me pretty close to where I need to be. Hopefully about 3 weeks before the show, I can do a week of maintenance calories, about 3,000, and then just dump the calories for the last 2 weeks and get diced. So that's where we're at. So enjoy this little bit of posing. I'll do a quick little, right? We're not looking too bad. I think we're looking okay. 6 weeks out, right? Keep that in mind. All right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. All right. Enjoy the video. Hey everyone, Michael here. 6 weeks out to the Canadian Nationals, the GNC ALLMAX Canadian Nationals, the Pro Qualifier in Toronto this year. 6 weeks out, where I'll be competing in Masters and Grandmasters physique, obviously men's physique. And yeah, we're right where we want to be.